of KZN who are voting for this, have they not been influenced in some way? We know vote purchasing in South Africa is an art that has been practiced for a long, long time.
Election. The DA not been well funded. No party has been as well funded as the DA. So they should have just put Oppenheimer's face next to that. They should just have put Rupert's face or everybody else that funded the DA, Mushal, Martin, or anybody that has given them money.
PA leader, English, please don't run away. I'm trying to tell people about Mackenzie. Mackenzie have done something. How can I say it in English? Hey, when's into guys? Challenge umlungu wacisha wakhala nje just told he just told the business people, the business community, the truth that they don't want to hear. Yeah, please listen to this clip. I wish if I could just describe, but like I can't because English, guys. Yeah, please listen to the clip. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Oh, please also comment. Yes, yeah, comment. Yeah.
The REN survived apartheid. The REN survived the National Party. How can you not survive EFF? That's my take on.
Yeah, Kaiten, I'm not sure that everybody would agree with you because it's quite simple. If the RAND falls out of bed, and any government with an EFF in it will fall out of bed, that you can underwrite. That means that we're already paying 20% of our taxes in interest. The interest bill in this country will skyrocket. We start paying 40% of our taxes in interest or something according to that. There's no money left to run the country. So I guess it's complex. There's wheels within wheels. But the point that you're making about KwaZulu-Natal is very well made indeed. Just a question on that. We know that MK has been incredibly well funded. We also know that Vladimir Putin's face appears on their regalia right next door to Jacob Zuma. When you say that it's the people of KZN who are voting for this, have they not been influenced in some way? We know vote purchasing in South Africa is an art that has been practiced for a long, long time.
Election. The DA not been well funded. No party has been as well funded as the DA. So they should have just put Oppenheimer's face next to that. They should just have put Rupert's face or everybody else that funded the DA, Mushal, Martin, or anybody that has given them money. Let me tell you something. There's this obsession with Putin to put him in this election. I can tell you that Putin has really nothing to do with funding MK. If Putin has funded MK would have won 100% of the vote. I can tell you firstly that. Secondly, when I came to a more serious point, you see, that's the problem. You put the rent before the people of South Africa. That's the first problem. You see, the rent of South Africa is well known to be a political player. You talk about what the rent will do if EFF comes into power. I don't like EFF. But the fact remains, EFF's got 39 seats, if I'm not mistaken. They got 39 seats. So they got representation. That should be respected. That I should respect, the REN should respect. So are we saying that we vote to keep the REN happy? That's number one. Number two, let me tell you something about the REN. When you look at the possibility of what might go wrong, it will be Armageddon. The REN will do nothing to stop that. I'm saying the REN should find its niche. Business should just find a niche in thing. The REN survived apartheid. The REN survived the National Party. How can you not survive EFF? People, I'm saying to you, Alec, and I want to say it here on your show. The only reason why there's nothing happening in this country at this moment regarding violence is because Jacob Zuma said, be disciplined. When are you guys, and I'm including you in that, when are you guys going to understand that Jacob Zuma is the most well-loved man in this country? I told you at your conference. That's what I like about you. Let me speak these things at your conference. I told you Zuma is the most well-loved man more than Mandela. People love Zuma more than Mandela. And guys, I know why people sit there and they think, how did he make it? How stupid can people be to vote for him? When Zuma walked in there by the ANC, by the Rock Center, they see even Helen Zerkshell was everybody was excited. There was an atmosphere there, let me tell you. And people love him, and I just think that if business should rather force for a we must revote. But this time was strange because then we lay all of this to bed. But we cannot come and say EFF should be, that's not democracy. If you want to keep EFF out, for the mere fact that you don't like them, I don't like them. But I can't, and neither can the rand say, we'll go down, whatever. As long as there's minerals in this country, we're sitting at the tree in the world. Russia, DRC, South Africa has got the majority of the minerals in South Africa. In the world, so South Africa forms part of the top 3. Let me tell you something. As an investor, the rand.
I hear your story. I hear your story, but if you consider Venezuela has got a big percentage of the world's oil reserves, and the man who runs it is the EFF's idol, I think there are 2 sides to every story. But I just wanted to ask you something about the vote in KZN. I pulled out some numbers. MK got 1.6 million votes. That's what the IEC tells us. Out of 3.5 million votes that were cast in the province. But there are 5.75 million registered voters. So the actual vote tally was less than a quarter of the total people who could have voted, and 28% of those who should have voted. In other words, there's 28% of people are making a decision, and your friend Rob Hersov is saying they must leave South Africa. Surely another approach for KZN might be, if Mr. Zuma wants to run it as is in the way that he wants to run it, and it's, as you say, everyone's democratic right, and the voters' democratic right, and surely the right way would be to have a referendum, perhaps, where everybody in the province can then vote and say, okay, we think that this is the way ahead or not. I'm just trying to explore, as a devil's advocate here, on where KZN goes forward, because it's a dilemma, my goodness.
No, but it's not a Zuma problem, what you just said. It's a South African problem. There's more people that aren't eligible to vote, that doesn't vote. So why are we making it a Zuma problem, while you can say the same about the DA in Western Cape, saying that why should Zuma have a referendum and Helen Zeller has never a Zuma also doesn't want to be what you guys want to make him to be, the Induna of KZN. Why should he be the Induna of KZN? And Zuma saying that he wants to run the country, South Africa. I am just saying, the obsession was wanting to see Zuma hang by the tree. Is what put us here. Here's the problems for your listeners. I met with the ANC. The PA met with the ANC top leadership. There are 5 of the national executive members there, and 4 of the NEC members in the meeting. And we will meet again tomorrow. They said before Friday, so I assume it's tomorrow. Yet the issue that you are having, by pushing for Zuma, by pushing this DA-ANC marriage, do you know that 30% of the ANC members will move to Zuma? He will then start taking all the municipalities one by one. There will be by-elections. Even opportunists that is not even liking Zuma, they will also go. And you will have bigger problems in 2 years, or in 2026. South Africa loves to kick the can down the road. We should have long dealt with land issues. We should have long dealt with other issues. But we love it to kick the can down the road. Now you are taking our problem to 2026. A problem that we can sort out now. That for me is, let's deal with this issue now. There will be no DA left if they go with the ANC. I told you last time, if you have 1,000 liters of ice cream and you have 1 spoon of shit, and you mix those two, you no longer have ice cream, you have shit. So I just think that democracy is not nice at times. So let democracy prevails. And but business must just keep their nose out of it. The last thing I want to mention is that the rand means a lot to you and me. And if you have no money, if you have no bread every day, the rand is the last thing on your mind. And although it should be the first thing, but it's the last thing. I'm talking reality. So most people that voted for these people doesn't have the concern that me and you have about what would this do to the rand. The rand has also been proven in the past to be able to be manipulated by our own banks, and they pleaded guilty to that. So I don't think we should be held hostage by the rand. And it's not only Venezuela. You had a place like Greece that also blew up financially once. And everybody makes the example of Venezuela. Greece had the best policies, and it imploded financially, and they had to be bailed out. So countries go, even Argentina at the time, countries go through recession, inflation, but we always hear about Venezuela, although it's not the only country in the world. I'm a capitalist, and I'm saying to you, there's capitalist countries that also go to problems. I will also always hear about the socialist leading countries that's going to problems. One of the people in KZN is MK. Now you want 11% DA to have a possibility of putting a premier candidate there. That's not going to work. So somebody, and I've decided to be that somebody needs to tell business to sit back and stop meddling and stop having forced marriages, because this will take us, and it's fine if you guys don't hit my call, but I'm saying to you, this is not EFF we're talking about here. This is MK. These are angry people that gave up their whole lives to be for a better South Africa, and none of them, or most of them, has not reached that level of better South Africa. They are angry, they are well trained, they have nothing to lose because they have nothing. And this is the second chance to get into leaving something for their children one day, or getting a proper job, or getting representation. So I'm just warning everybody of the business community, guys, sometimes you need to hear things you don't want to hear. But what you are doing, forcing the ANC and DA together, is going to have dire consequences for all of us.
Statistic for me is the scariest one, is the one that we have the most minerals in the world, but we have the highest. There's a big difference that you must know between black people and black leadership. There's a big difference between black people and black leadership. Once you know that difference, that's a groot verskil tussen people suffer just like we are suffering as colored people. We must not mix the two. The black leadership are the ones that oppress us. Black people cannot oppress us because they themselves are oppressed. They themselves are living in squalor. So once you can understand the difference between black people and black leadership,